For 300 years, we prepared. We grew stronger. While you rested in your cradle of power, believing your people were safe and protected. As our powers of the dark side have blinded you. You assumed no force could challenge you. And now, finally, we have returned.
Every once in a while, there's a game that comes out and whips you into shape. And no, I don't mean working out because I stopped doing that a long time ago. Crunch, please stop texting me. I mean video game shape. A game that comes along and gives you a reality check and reminds you ain't as good as you think you are. And boys, I found that game. It's called Battlefield 6. Now, even though Battlefield has been around for a long time, I've never really played it before. I played Battlefield 4 back when I was in middle school, but it was for so little time that I can't remember diddly about it. Because in that span until now, the only competitive FPS games I really played and modeled my play after were Call of Duty and Halo. And it amazes me that looking at it now, so many FPS games were based off those same principles, which explains why I was able to adapt so much to them. Battlefield is not those games. Battlefield is a completely different experience for those who haven't played it. Even Battlefront, I'd argue, was easier to get into than this. And for a while, the reason the series has been kind of thrown by the wayside is because the last two games were complete disasters that gave people no other option but to play Call of Duty.
Oh my goodness!
And now we know how that turned out.
What is that? What the fuck is that?
But what Battlefield 6 showed me is that not all FPS games are created equally. In fact, some are better, including Battlefield 6. After hours of frustration and beating my head against the wall, going 1-12 and getting loss after loss, which you won't see here because I was so embarrassed I didn't bother to record it, I could safely say that I absolutely love Battlefield 6. It's a game the genre desperately needed and a game I desperately needed because FPS games feel like they've gotten so stale recently. But there's something about the camaraderie, the more complex approach, and just being a game that doesn't demand you sacrifice your social life because you need to get through the latest battle pass. At least, it doesn't feel grindy yet. But because it's so unlike what has become the norm, I've seen so many clips of streamers raging and complaining about what's not in the game, and I can understand them because I started off like that. But now I stand a reformed man who now knows what to do and understands Battlefield, at least the basics. But how did it happen? How did Battlefield 6 make me a fan, and what makes it such an incredible experience? Well, let's figure out how to fly this stupid thing. So strap in, boys and girls, and let's get down to business. Before we start off, can I just say how wild it is that people are rooting for a game made by EA?
Now that is irony!
Call of Duty has had no real competition for so long, in part because Battlefield has been so bad and no other FPS game can rival it, that it's become the unrecognizable slop that we know now, where Beavis and Butthead are kicking the Terminator to death or some dumb shit like Seth Rogen being an operator. What the hell are we doing, guys? Activision has become so bad that it has us rooting for the most scummy, money-hungry company in the last decade of gaming. You're bad, but this guy is worse and we need to do something. I find it hilarious. But this year there was actually something to root for because every time Battlefield 6 showed its face, it just looked better and better. A return to a serious, grounded, boots-on-the-ground military shooting, as opposed to what Black Ops 7 is doing. Bro, who put acid in my water? Needless to say, Battlefield managed to get so many people behind it because of its marketing combined with people's growing hatred for COD's laziness that it has clearly scared the living daylights out of Activision because they've acknowledged every fan complaint recently and have already said they're gonna make changes because of it. The game that is the top seller every year without breaking a sweat is scared of another game embarrassing it. It's okay, guys. You could just sue them.
Shut up, bitch!
That's how good Battlefield 6 has been handled. But, I mean, none of that matters anyway if the game isn't a kick-ass return to form after so many years away. So, is it? Well, I already told you that it is. So just to let you know, I'm going to spend my focus on the multiplayer for this video. We all in agreement? Okay, break. Dude, if Battlefield does anything right outside of gameplay, it's atmosphere. Holy shit, I'm in a war zone right now. The immersion of this game is next level for a shooter. I feel like we haven't had this in a long while, where you're playing a competitive shooter and it actually feels like you're in a real life war zone. Or should I say, Battlefield?
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
I'll see myself out. And it doesn't matter what game mode you play, the maps just feel right. There's some COD maps I love, but over the last few years, it really feels like the maps we've gotten don't fit in with the theme of war. Like Skyline, why is the army at a nice house? But here we are at places that actually feel like they can be sites of major conflicts. When the Iberian Offensive is the only zone that can sometimes feel out of place, you know you've done a damn good job at map design. But it's not just the way the maps look, it's also how they're designed from a layout standpoint. What made me change the way I approach Battlefield is how open the maps all are. Even in close quarters maps, it always feels like you can get taken out from any direction. None of the maps feel like they're divided into the dreaded 3 lanes. Because of this, you can't just run out like a chicken with your head cut off, or else you're gonna get it blown off. Which is why it's important to check every direction before you advance, just like a real soldier would. Not only that, but it benefits you to stay with your squad. I can't tell you how many times I've killed somebody only to have their boys follow right behind and take me out. So why not adopt those tactics? And here's a pro tip from a non-pro. Proning is your best friend. Trust me, you'll thank me later. There's a different way to play Battlefield, at least for me. Regular Battlefield players may be looking at this and be going like, dude, where have you been the last 15 years? Not playing Battlefield, that's why I'm making this video, Jack. But none of this would work without this incredible gunplay, and my god, dude, it is absolutely incredible. I haven't used every gun, but the ones I've used, whether it be AR, SMG, Sniper, LMG, Carbine, DMR, every gun is so fun to use, and they all feel beefy. Everything has this weight to it. Even the pistol feels like it has a kick to it, and it's a sidearm that's meant to be a last resort. And answer me honestly, is this the best kill sound you've ever heard? I mean, I don't think I've been more satisfied getting kills than in this game, and I think they nailed this aspect. That sound is just, oh my god. On the other hand, does anybody know how to fly on these things? I mean, I've heard the legends of choppers and planes being difficult to fly in Battlefield, but seeing and experiencing it firsthand, oh my god. And you can't even be mad. It's so complicated at first, it's just a laugh. But what I think sets this game apart from the rest and puts it on the upper tiers is the sheer sense of camaraderie this game has. Let me tell you guys, revive culture is real. If you play a support class like I do, you are obligated to go full Hacksaw Ridge and pick up everybody you see.
Young men aren't having sex.
Correct!
A fuck nigga, that's that shit I don't like. Nah. A snitch nigga, that's that shit I don't like. Nah.
Even if you're not a support class, your squad mates are always looking to revive you. And in Battlefield, you can move your downed teammate while reviving them, so you're less of a sitting duck, which is a clear-cut sign to me that the devs wanted to make it easier to revive your teammates. There's no real sense of selfishness, and it's for that reason that whenever I get down, I milk that shit.
If you see that, you wait. Don't skip it. Don't skip it. I am on my way with my defibs to resurrect you. If I am 15 meters away, wait. Hold. Look around. Does it look chaotic? If yes, then wait until it's less chaotic.
But even though there's a sense of selflessness, getting revived is also a matter of where you are on the map. You can't move while down, so if you're down in the middle of an alleyway, or a place where it looks like the enemy's waiting for somebody else to pop up, your teammates are going to be less likely to try and get you. If you're down in an enemy's base, nobody's coming for you, so just save yourself the trouble and just respawn. And there's nothing like getting revived, staying prone, and taking guys out in front of you that don't notice that you're back. God, that's satisfying. And that's the operative word that I can use to describe Battlefield 6. Satisfying. It's not just satisfying to get lots of kills and place in a match, because a lot of the time starting off, you're not going to get a lot of kills. In fact, when I first started playing, my KD was so horrible, I couldn't buy a kill in this game.
What the hell is that?
I don't have a lot of footage, like I said earlier, of me being mad at the beginning because I was too embarrassed to record it. But it's the satisfaction of learning the metas, getting better, the incremental steps to become a better Battlefield player, that is the satisfaction. And at a certain point, the satisfaction doesn't come from getting kills, but from learning how to play, winning, playing a role in your team's success, capturing and holding objectives, reviving your teammates, learning how to fly a plane, which I still can't do yet. To anyone playing Battlefield for the first time or playing after a long time, take it from someone who played for the first time. You can get better at it, and you will get better at it. Because Battlefield has such a different approach to it, you can immediately tell who the COD kids are.
Oh, that's a COD kid. That's a COD kid. You don't just stand out in the middle like that. I can't wait for the new COD to come out, so you guys quit plaguing the game with people who don't know how to play it. Yeah, he's right. Combined with more grounded movement instead of whatever crack COD provides, the experience just feels so much better to play rather than having to deal with a kid who's hopped up on 16 bottles of Mountain Dew and a bag of their dad's hidden Coke supply, which is absolutely hilarious watching people online get upset that you can't do that.
And when he tries to jump peek here, you will see just how severe the penalty actually is for using any sort of aggressive movement. Look at this. He's missing down, now he's missing up within like 3 bullets. So even if he tried to kill someone there, he would have missed every single shot.
Oh no, I can't play every FPS game like Call of Duty. I can't have the absolute perfect aim when I jump around. It's almost like it's realistic? Nah, but for real though, I've seen takes online from COD players upset that there's no COD features in the game, like kill streaks, and complaining that there's nothing to do after you unlock everything. It's like Battlefield doesn't need to have this carrot on a stick grind that a lot of shooters have nowadays. And hey, you have one now with Season 1. You got a Battle Pass, and you got a new Battle Royale, RedSec, which is literally Warzone with side missions and without the gulag. And those are my thoughts on it. But it just feels like there's a sentiment among COD players that Battlefield is bad because it doesn't have X from COD. Now, if you played COD all those years and make something of a career for yourself, then you have every right to have those feelings. I'm not even saying you're wrong for thinking these things. But I think it's time we realize there's a reason people are rooting for COD to fail this year and for Battlefield 6 to succeed. It's because we need something different. If not to light a fire under Activision's ass, but just to switch things up. Give a shot in the arm to the FPS genre, because we know damn well Titanfall's not coming back. As someone who felt frustrated by the game in the beginning, I know there could be a bit of a learning curve, but as I will keep saying, stick with it. Keep getting better. Sooner or later, you will be as good at Battlefield as you are at any FPS game. As far as complaints, there's only a few that I have. Number 1, nerf the shotgun, because these things are cracked. What? No shot! No shot! That's a shotgun! The UI sucks. I don't like the Netflix UI trend that just won't go away. Just have a normal looking menu, please. And the progression could sometimes look a little daunting too. I mean, there's just some that I don't like having others spawn on your beacon if you're an assault class. I just don't like having to rely on other people for my progression. I don't like having no control over it. I mean, it really shouldn't be like that. So there you have it. I didn't have Battlefield 6 making me a fan on my bingo card this year, but you gotta hand it to them. They've dealt with a lot of crap from fans, rightfully so, over the last decade. It feels like DICE themselves, which I guess now it's called Battlefield Studios, has been put through the ringer, but I think it's safe to say they've totally redeemed themselves. Now look me in the eyes. Don't you dare f this game up with scummy microtransactions in the next few months. don't you do it. It's been a while since I felt this good about a competitive shooter, but Battlefield 6 multiplayer, at least, gets a 9 out of 10.